Hey everybody, Jeppy here, and today we have two sets of lore updates we need to cover. Everything that happened in update 6.04 and update 6.05. There was a ton of new lore stuff that came out, so let's get right into it. So let's first get into the controversial voicemail Skye sent to Brimstone. She calls him out on he's too soft on the kingdom, while the vast majority of the other agents of Valorant, hates the kingdom and what it stands for. If you didn't know, Brimstone used to work for them in the KSEC division.
Brimstone, I'm sorry, but I gotta call you out on this. You are too soft on Kingdom. I know KSEC meant something to you. They gave you something when you needed it. I get that. But the more we dig into everything, the more that company is stuck in the center, and I do not like it. You know my history with them. We take the good with the bad, but the shit they get away with... Your past with them is clouding your judgment. Get it sorted.
So guys, if I'm being honest, I'm not really sure why Skye is lashing out at Brimstone specifically for this. Unless I'm missing something, I don't think Brimstone is like a massive, fan of the kingdom and like loves them. Yes, he did work for them and it was a big part of his life for some time, eventually helping him elevate his status to the leader of Valorant. But I wouldn't say he's like a fanboy of the kingdom. Unless Skye is seeing something I'm not, I just don't think this harsh voicemail to him was warranted. Perhaps maybe he is soft on the kingdom and maybe should start like loosening ties between them. At least that's what Skye is suggesting. But there absolutely is something that is warranted, today's sponsor. On this episode of why Valorant Tracker is amazing and you need to use my link to download it, I'm going to give you a real world example on how to use it better. So here we have Valorant Tracker. I'm going to head over to the weapons section. And one thing I do want to show you guys is the kills per round stat that we have for the weapons. Some of the highest ones you're going to have naturally are going to be like your rifles, your Vandal, your Phantom, 0.78, 0.77 in my example, and a Ghost. And this tells me the 0.79 on the Ghost tells me that on pistol rounds, I need to be using the Ghost more than anything else. And we all know that pistol rounds are absolutely monumental. If you win the pistol round and then the round after that, you're already off on a good start. So for the pistol round, I have 0.79 on the Ghost. I have a 0.11 on the Classic. And a Sheriff is 0.36. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't use the Sheriff too much on pistol rounds. I use it mostly on save rounds. But I noticed I have a 0.65 kills per round with the Frenzy, while I have a 7.9 with the Ghost, which tells me that the Ghost is the weapon I need to use the most. There are so many more stats on Valorant Tracker in the live match tool, which is absolutely amazing in the guide section. Make sure to use my link in the description or the pinned comment to download Valorant Tracker completely for free. And thank you for sponsoring today's video. Let's now move on to the email we had from Brimstone to Gekko in update 6.04. Homework, not heroics. Welcome to Valorant, kid. While Sage and KJ play Zookeeper, Harbor says your training room scores are high. Some tricks from this old dog. Skip the run and gun, stop, headlock, and pop. But mind the recoil. Coordinate action with your team by memorizing Cypher's maps. And don't hesitate to communicate. My agents can talk a lot of trash, but they all want the win. So basically, this is like a wholesome welcome message directed from the old dog to Gekko. I like how the subject line is homework, not heroics, possibly signifying that Brimstone feels Gekko, might be like Phoenix when it comes to like showing off and wanting to the entire room to notice him instead of like, going along with the designated plan. Yeah, it's just some nice tips given to him, and I like the part at the end when he says his agents talk a lot of trash. Question, which agents do you guys think would talk the most trash and which would talk, the least amount of trash? For me, it has to be like Phoenix at number 1 and maybe like Sage at the very bottom. Next, we have a new Icebox email in update 6.04, which talks about the aftermath of Gekko's reveal trailer. Looks like Gekko and Reyna possibly broke into a Kingdom facility in Los Angeles, and here we see the security responses across Kingdom requiring all their employees to rescan their biometrics and get new badges. What's the deal out there to M. Calvin from B. Tate? Are you guys good? Chat's buzzing around an incident in LA. KSEC E-Blast says it wasn't a real break-in, just a company red cell testing security. Then why are we at level 5? Why rescan our biometrics and reset our badges? If the deuce went down, I hope you were safe at the wheel or copping kicks. What about PD? Was he on the job? Oh yeah, and PD stands for Paul Delman, a Kingdom employee which has kind of been in the shadows for a long time now. We've seen him on Icebox and on Fracture. I think we're going to see a lot more of him in the near future. The last thing we need to talk about for update 6.04 before we move on to 6.05 update is the Atlas email from the station you can find in Defender Spawn on Lotus. This email is pretty awesome because it recounts the aftermath of Skye's pretty much massacre on the Atlas soldiers in the audio that were trying to apprehend her in the mission to find Lotus. As many of you know, Titan team traded fire with Alpha in the Western Ghats. The terrorists were driven off and a critical site secured, but not without cost. Several of our comrades were lost in action. To support the families of the fallen, donations can be made through the dependent advocate designated to your unit. And I am not even going to try to read that Latin. I'm just going to translate it English for you guys. And the translation is courage without tears, revenge without mercy. Goes to show that there are two sides to every conflict. Yes, they wanted to kill Skye, but the Atlas soldiers were just doing what they were told. And now there are dead members to families that'll never see their loved ones again. I will say, courage without tears, revenge without mercy. It does sound like that the next time Atlas meets, the Valorant Protocol, they're probably going to go all out, and like it just states right there, no mercy will be had. Let's now move into the voicemail for the lore updates of 6.05. It's short and sweet, basically just Gekko talking to Brimstone, asking if he can make a bigger room.
Ayo, Brimmy Brim, hear me out. I love the room, for real, but like my crew needs their own space sometimes, and it's a little crowded right now, so check this. What if we knock down some of the walls, combine my room with the one next door, double it up? Eh? Let me know what you think.
What are your vibes with Gekko so far, everybody? Do you like him so far? Let me know in the comments below. Next is a very, very interesting email from Reyna to Brimstone, which goes way more in depth about the incident of Gekko, and I thought Reyna, but maybe not, breaking into a kingdom facility and stealing property. Critter cover-up from Reyna to Brimstone. Nobody who saw Gekko's creatures is talking. Cypher confirmed the lack of incriminating surveillance video. To be safe, he coded a worm to hunt online footage. KSEC has no clue where to find their stolen property or the thief's identity. I'll talk to Gekko about being more covert. We got away with it this time, Brimstone, but you know KSEC, they'll never stop looking. Okay, so a lot to break down here. First of all, Brimstone knows that his agents committed a crime with trespassing and theft. That's a big yikes. Unless Brim ordered this to go down to steal something of value that the Valorant Protocol wants, I'm not sure though. Also, once again, we have Cypher clearing any evidence of crimes the VP has taken part in. I swear, how many times does this man have to wipe cameras clean? So yeah, it looks like it was sort of a reckless mission that they got lucky that no one is talking, and Cypher is so damn good at his job. Let's hope it doesn't come back to bite them. Also, question, what do you think Gekko stole from the kingdom? Next is a really important email sent by the kingdom to its employees on Icebox. King Kong survey sent from customer experiences to kingdom employees. As the request of our founder, we'd like to create in-person experiences to reward our most dedicated fans and customers. Internal conversations are trending toward a convention or a music festival on First Light's anniversary, a destination event to celebrate decades of kingdom innovation, where we can share optimistic visions of a Radiant-powered future. Reply with feedback and ideas. Your voice matters. Raise it. So it looks like that the founder of the kingdom suggested that the kingdom should host a grand festival on the anniversary of the First Light, which is epic because if we do see this festival happen, we'd know exactly which day the First Light occurred on in the calendar. I also appreciate how they asked their employees for ideas and such, saying their voice matters. They may be trying to like boost morale after ordering the security changes in the previous update, we saw in the Icebox email. I really hope that Riot lets us see the festival celebrating the First Light happen, hopefully in cinematic form. All right, so for the last lore update I have for you all today, it's by far the most confusing, by far. It's an email sent from someone we don't know to Atlas personnel. Again, I am still a little confused here, but this might be the Viper of the Valorant Legion responding to an apology sent by a man named Lieutenant Delacroix on Atlas. I was surprised to receive your apology. At the time, it appeared you took my reprimand personally. Was your mea culpa genuine? I probably butchered that. Or were you pressured from above to back channel? Regardless, I would like to share the report, but the boss grows increasingly uncomfortable with the Atlas agenda. He believes my direct tactical support went beyond Legion's mandate. I can't help you. Okay, so yeah, you might be lost. We do need to refer to the previous two Atlas emails to kind of fill in the gap here. To sum it up, guys, Atlas wanted a non-redacted full report of what went down on Lotus with the battle between the Valorant Protocol and Valorant Legion. Legion is hiding something from Atlas and won't tell them the full story of what happened. Could they be hiding the powering of the Nexus, or perhaps the spike detonation that happened? We're not sure, but Lieutenant Delacroix wanted a non-redacted version of the report from Legion's ambassador with Atlas. Legion's ambassador is most likely a man that either, leads the Valorant Legion or is, someone on the higher up that is kind of like a liaison or someone who like talks and, intermingles with and sets up missions or whatever with the Valorant Legion and Atlas. And it does look like the ambassador of Legion is slightly upset with Atlas and getting weary of them. The reason why I believe this is Viper sending the email is because in the Shattered cinematic, Viper fought alongside Atlas soldiers, which is the only time we've ever seen that happen so far, which could be the direct tactical support that writer of this email, which is likely Viper, is talking about here. Well, everyone, those are all the lore updates for 6.04 and 6.05. If you enjoyed the video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe notifications if you're new. Now, with all that being said, Jeppy out!